hello. Oh, I'm so sorry I bumped into you. Hello. My name, yeah. My name is Gregory. I am Gregory the Faerie. It is nice to meet you. Yes. Welcome to Faerie World. This is, of course, the enchanted forest, but our small little section over here is called Faerie World. It is nice to meet you. And I am the welcoming committee. You seem to be looking up over my head, so let me help you. Yes, here I am. Hi. Okay, so I have my little notebook, and we are just going to get you, Mr. Human. Mr. Human, what is your name? I guess that's a good place to start. Oh, okay. Do you spell that with a Q? Okay. Right. What's the origin of that? Interesting. It's kind of a long name, but okay. Oh, yes, and your last name, of course. Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, last names that are short are good too. Okay, Mr. Homan. So what we're doing today is I'm sort of welcoming you. You took kind of a nasty fall while you're in the forest, but that's okay. Don't worry about it, because you're here now, and it's not a problem. And you seem like you were able to walk, and we are going to have a great old time. I actually, they put me on this job because I am sort of blind. I have been blind as a bat for a long time. Well, not literally blind. But I am not one of the defender fairies, as we call them, or important fairies. It doesn't matter. But I can actually see a lot better now because I have these specteals. I've heard them called the specteals, and I actually got them off the last guy. He could not walk as well as you. He seemed to not want to. He seemed to not want to get up. So, but that's okay. He did not need them anymore, so I took them, and I see so much better. So let's get. Oh, and let me get this out of the way first. This is the man that I got the specteals off of. He had this book with him. It is a guide to fairy folk, which is interesting. I've looked through it a few times. Pages kind of smell, but some of the chapters are not so nice. They say things like how to avoid fairies, and how to protect yourself from fairies, and all these different things. So I just wanted to get it out of the way. Can you see the picture? Can you see the picture? I don't. This guy kind of looks like a zombie to me. He doesn't really look like a fairy, which is interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting read. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's a good read, because it kind of it has its place, but not necessarily accurate about fairyland. But yes, I guess if you wanted to flip through it, you could. I kept it because it kind of amuses me. and I hope that I look a little cuter than that. If I don't, please don't tell me. I have many self-esteem issues. But yes. Sorry, I try to avoid most humans that come this way. So if I hear a loud noise, I might be startled. But you seem nice, so I'm not gonna worry about you. Anyways, you seem to have wandered here. I don't know if with a purpose or what, but yes. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, and we'll get started. And if you choose to leave Fairyland for a different part of the Enchanted Forest, I understand. But please do let one of us know so that we do not assume the human mobile. I've heard them every once in a while. I don't like them. Do you own a human mobile? The humans. Anyways, but do let one of us know. Otherwise, we will assume that you have been eaten. And we do not want you to be eaten. So please do let us know. Okay. So the first of a few questions that I'm going to ask is, why did you choose to end up here? Yes. Well, the thing is, you don't necessarily choose to end up here, but you pick a place, either in your dreams, or you pick a place in out loud in your consciousness, for where you would like to be, and possibly end up for a while. So technically you chose this place. I hope you weren't sent to the wrong spot. But this is the place that at least your heart told us you wanted to be. So here you are. But we just like to ask, why did you choose this place of the Enchanted Forest in general, but in particular, why did you want to end up in the fairy world? That makes more sense. Yes, I have attended a few of those fairs myself. Yes, most people think that I am just very short, or a child, which, I suppose I am a child, but, I would sometimes I do wish that I was taller, just so that people would stop looking down at me. No, you're fine. It's okay. I'm not necessarily in the literal sense, because in the literal sense, it's I can't really help it. But if I was taller, maybe I would have a little more respect in this place. But it is fine. I'm not bitter. Bitterness leads to hate, which leads to well, I don't actually know. We try to not really, we try to not hate each other here at Fairy World. It's kind of hard, but our emotions don't necessarily work like the humans, so it's a little different, but yes, we try our best to stay one community, and to stay bonded, because if there's a straggler left alone, it's very easy for him or her to be picked off. which is technically the job of the welcomers to be on their own. But that's okay, because then I get to meet new people and new faces, not just new humans, but also sometimes I meet cats, which are not always nice, but they are pleasant if they are more of a calm or a fat cat. I like the fat cats. They tend to not chase the fairy folk. Anyways, let us continue. I think there's some creatures running around, but that's okay. You are a big human, and big human will protect little fairy. And just so you know, if you ever see me in the future, inside the grounds of the fairy folk, I will not look like this. I'm still small. I'm small for a fairy, but I will look closer to what you kind of would assume. This is more of the form we take for introductions and welcomes to other people. Okay, so the next question is, while you are here in the enchanted forest and in the fairy world, we ask that everyone does a job and participates in something. So I just wanted to know what. I think the sun is coming out. It normally does not come out at this time, but the clouds seem to be parting. But I just want to know what type of job you would like to do. Well, we have carpenters. We have blacksmiths. Not necessarily for the fairy folk, but we all have to pay our taxes to the enchanted forest as a whole. So sometimes we very rarely hire new blacksmiths, but it is an occupation. And outside of that, we have well, kind of your standard jobs within the forest. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, we might need to hurry. We might need to hurry. We try to avoid dogs at all costs. Like, oh dear. We don't really like cats, but they're tolerable. Dogs either get really mad at us and chase us down, or they're very excited to see small things and get really overzealous with the fairy folk. Oh dear. Oh dear, that might mean another human is around. I don't think the human will see us. We seem, we have a protection against sight, but the dog might notice us. So we will continue very quickly, and we will try to hurry up these questions and get in as soon as we can. So we will just say, say that you are an undeclared job, and that you yes, I think this suggestion will work just fine. Do you happen to like wine and spirits? Yes, we fairy folk do as well. You seem like you would be a good wine maker, specifically grape stomper. We very rarely get good grape stoppers because we fairy folk are not very heavy. We are usually roughly only a couple of pounds. Okay. Now, outside of the fairy world, is there another part of the enchanted forest that you would like to possibly have an alternate residence, or one that you would like to go back and forth to frequently, so that we know kind of where you will mainly go outside of the fairy realm? Yes, that is a great place. That is actually my favorite getaway when I can get away outside of my room, of course. But outside of fairy world, of course, that is a great place. I would also suggest, if you can. It's not always recommended, but there are certain times of the year that the land of the trolls is a great place, because the trolls, while they can sometimes be grouchy and not always the nicest to the humans, they throw great parties. Oh dear. I hate that there's different welcome stations within the forest, and I get the one that's the closest to the road. It is the most dangerous, but they trusted me with it, so that is my job. Anyways, so I will say, maybe once a year you would like to go to the troll village. At least once? Okay. You don't have to, but maybe once. And then, yes, I will write that down as well. This is very nice. You're actually one of the nicest humans that I have dealt with. Most of them at this point have either started walking away because they are more intrigued in what they hear from the festivities of the fairies. If you like to dance, please don't eat me, bird. I don't want to be eaten today. Oh, well, at least you will make it. I might be eaten today by the bird, who is not so nice. But if you like to dance, we have every night we have the dancing festivities. I'm actually not a very good dancer, but we have dancing available, and there are a few humans in the fairy village, in fairy world. Oh, that dog is back. There are a few, but which you can dance with, or if you ask a fairy nicely, they might turn into their human shape and will dance with you if they enjoy your company. Okay, the wind is starting to pick up, which is sometimes nice, but the earth sometimes tries to warn the fairy folk with the wind, so it can either be danger is coming, or just it can be a nice cool breeze. I actually am very bad at determining which is which, so it can either be really nice and the earth is blessing us with some relaxation, or imminent doom, one of the two. But you have nothing to worry about. Okay. I'm so glad I have these glasses. Taking notes before was so awful. I ended up having to just pretend that I was taking notes, and I would have to just memorize everything the person said. Last question: Do you know how long, tentatively, you would like to? Oh, sorry, fairy feet get numb sometimes. Do you know how long you would like to stay with us for this first little bit? If not, it's okay. Some people change their minds and don't decide it right up front. But if you'd like to stay for a long time, we can try to find you a house. And if you want to stay for a short time, we can put you in the hotel and see how it goes. Alright, well, next we will go into the city. So I can't actually let you see how to get into it. So I will, I'm actually gonna put you to sleep. It doesn't hurt, it's very calming. But I'm actually gonna put you to sleep, and then we will go into the forest. Okay, I guess this is good night for now. We can, when you wake up, you'll be in the city. So, I guess I'll say goodbye for now, and I will do my best to avoid the dogs and the birds and make sure you make it home safe. Well, to my home. Anyways, goodbye. You might be greeted by somebody else later. So, either I'll see you later, or goodbye forever.